Only a handful of recovery programs in Maryland allow mothers to remain with their children while pursuing healing. Until now, Carroll County had no such option. Today, this home is part of the answer. The Recovery Home for Moms and Their Children will provide a safe, supportive place where mothers can heal, rebuild their lives, and stay connected to what matters most: their children.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you all for being here. I would introduce myself. I think I know everybody, but I'm Stephanie Halley, the CEO with the Westminster Rescue Mission, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the ribbon cutting of our new recovery home for moms and their children. Before anything else, I have to start, well, Grizzly has to start with barking. I have to start by saying thank you. Thank you. First, I want to say thank you to my God who has made this all possible. And I want to say thank you to our many friends who are dedicated to loving our neighbors as we are. Our church partners, our friends in recovery, our elected officials, our community partners and supporters, our board of directors. This has been a long journey. Years of planning, collaboration, hard work, and we would not be standing here today without each and every one of you. And I mean that. Today is something we've been working towards for a long time, and it's incredibly meaningful to finally be here together. And for me, this moment is not only professional, it's also deeply personal. You see, I understand something about recovery. And I also understand what it means to be a mom. I know firsthand the courage it takes to pursue healing. And I know the responsibility and love and hard work that comes with raising children. The need we are here to address today is real. And for many families, it is urgent. In recent years, about 1 in 6 Marylanders have battled a substance use disorder. And increasingly, we're seeing just how deeply this crisis is affecting women and families. In 2025, approximately a third of all overdose deaths in Maryland were women. At the same time, nearly 70% of women entering treatment are moms. Despite that reality, there are only a handful of programs across the entire state that allow mothers to remain with their children in those initial days and weeks and months of recovery. Here in Carroll County, until now, there has been no option at all. So mothers are often forced to make an impossible choice: get help or keep their families together. That's an impossible choice. Too often that choice delays recovery and perpetuates cycles of trauma, instability, and family separation. That is the gap. And today, we stand here together in that gap. This home is part of the answer. At the Westminster Rescue Mission, we're committed to meeting people where they are and walking alongside them as they rebuild their lives. We believe that recovery is not just about overcoming addiction, it is about restoring dignity, rebuilding families, and creating a path toward long-term stability. This program reflects that belief. The Recovery Home for Moms and Kids will provide safe, stable housing in a structured and supportive and therapeutic and beautiful environment where mothers can focus on healing while staying connected to what matters most, their children. It will offer care coordination, life skills development, and opportunities for employment and education, helping women build not just recovery, but independence. And we know that when mothers and children are able to stay together, outcomes are stronger for both of them. This home is intentionally small. serving just a few families at a time, because we know that lasting change happens through deep, individualized, family-centered support. The home is currently we're finishing up the home. You'll see today, and I invite you to tour afterwards so that you can see it. And we will operate with strong standards, clear policies, and a commitment to being a positive presence in this community. But most importantly, this program exists because a community came together to make it happen. We're deeply grateful for the support and partnership of so many, including our public partners, healthcare providers, law enforcement, social services, behavioral health leaders, who recognized this need and helped us to respond to it. That includes Carroll County Commissioners, numerous Carroll County government offices, including the Department of Citizen Services and the Grants Office, the Carroll County Health Department and Local Behavioral Health Authority, Access Carroll, Carroll Hospital, Carroll County Sheriff's Office, state's attorneys, Westminster Police Department. I could list on and on. Many of you are here with us today, and we're truly grateful. We'll recognize a number of these partnerships in more detail shortly. Because of you, families will have a chance to heal together. Because of you, mothers will not have to choose between recovery and their children. And because of you, our community will be stronger. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dan Cooper, who is the chair of the Westminster Rescue Mission Board of Directors, who will share more about the vision behind this project and the partnerships that made it possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good morning, everyone. We welcome you and really appreciate your ability to come and celebrate this opening with us for Tannery Farm. It truly is a special day. As Stephanie read, this home meets a critical need in our community. I'd like to take a moment to reflect on how we got to this point, the many partners, the many supporters that we've had that have helped us to reach this milestone. In 2022, the Westminster Rescue Mission Board of Directors, along with our staff of the mission, had a strategic planning meeting where we prayerfully thought through our vision and our strategic plan for the coming years. Part of that vision was discussing how we go about a different model for addiction treatment and how we could do that in a healing way, in a supportive way, and a slightly different model. We envisioned a place that feels less like an institution and more like a place of healing. A peaceful rural environment. I think we met that. With a space to breathe, to grow, and to build mind, body, and spirit. Today, we are standing in that vision. It represents the realization of that vision, but this is just not our vision. It is a vision of the community. The community is part of this vision, and we recognize that. Because it truly took a community to bring this property to life, projects like this do not happen without strong partnerships and supporters. And we are deeply grateful for the many who have worked alongside us to make this possible. We would like to thank the public partners who helped provide critical funding and support along this process, including the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, through the Community Development Block Grant Program that did a lot of the funding for this project, the Carroll County Government, the Maryland Department of Health, and the Carroll County Health Department and Local Behavioral Health Authority. As Stephanie said, many of those are with us today and will be speaking in a little bit. Their continued commitment to this project is an investment in families, in recovery, and the long-term health of this community. We are grateful for the dedicated professionals who helped bring this home to completion, especially Fred Cluck of Jacobson Construction, who provided the project management for this facility, as well as Kinsley Construction, who did an excellent job of general contracting for the project. We greatly appreciate all your dedication and support on this. Your expertise and commitment helped turn this vision into reality. I also want to recognize and thank fellow members of the board of directors. Many of those are with us here today as well. This project has been covered in prayer and guided by thoughtful oversight and grounded in a shared commitment to our mission. It's been several years of hard and thoughtful work. Your passion for this project, your passion for the mission is profoundly appreciated. And I want to pause to also offer a special word of recognition to the Westminster Rescue Mission staff. Your countless hours of support to the mission in general and specifically this project is greatly appreciated. Oftentimes they have worked extra time, overtime, personal time, and went beyond and above and beyond to support this. As you have a chance to talk with some of our staff members, you will see they are here more than just being a job. They are here as a passion for the mission to help support our community in food and in recovery. I hope you have the opportunity to talk with them today. It is this leadership, commitment, and financial support of so many public partners, construction and project partners, board of directors, and individual donors, churches, and community sponsors that made this possible. Today is a celebration, but more importantly, it is a beginning a beginning for the mothers and children who will come here, starting the first part of August, for the healing that will take place here within these walls, and for the stronger, healthier families who will leave here and become part of our community. On behalf of the board, thank you for being part of this moment and for your continued support of the Westminster Rescue Mission. We are honored to serve alongside you in this work in support of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. We are grateful to have several partners and elected officials with us today who have helped make this possible, as we have said. First, it is my pleasure to welcome Julia Glantz, who is the Deputy Secretary of the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. Deputy Secretary?
Good morning. It is so exciting to be back with the folks from Westminster Rescue Mission and in Carroll County. On behalf of the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, I want to congratulate Stephanie, Dan, and the entire team from Westminster Rescue Mission for reaching this important milestone. Secretary Day sends his regards for not being here, and I know he wishes he could be to celebrate something so needed for the people of Carroll County. In many ways, DHCD is like a Swiss Army knife of state agencies when it comes to funding, because when communities need help with a project, we often have a tool to support it. In this case, that tool was the Community Development Block Grant, or affectionately known as CDBG. These are federal funds administered by DHCD staff awarded to counties and cities across Maryland to empower projects that address the unique needs of their communities. This money can mean a new ADA-compliant sidewalk, upgrades to a wastewater treatment plant, or improved infrastructure for senior housing. Here, $1.75 million in CDBG funds helped bring the recovery homes for moms and their children from idea to reality. It's always so incredible to see these grants physically transform communities across the state. But the best part is talking to you all, the folks that will see and feel the impact of a project in their community. This project is especially significant because it touches on one of the most important missions at the department. Shelter is a human right, the foundation of everything else that is built on at DHCD. The women and children who pass through these doors will face many challenges, but this house means that they can overcome those barriers in a safe place without the additional pressure of figuring out where they'll sleep at night. Additionally, you all will wrap services and support and love around them to ensure their futures are bright. So thank you, Westminster Rescue Mission, for your passion to help people in need and your vision for this project. The work we do is often a labor of love, and getting a project from concept to ribbon cutting, it includes a lot of tough days, setbacks, challenges, and involvement and engagement are key to seeing something like this happen. It takes all level of government, federal, state, local, with support of residents, working in partnership to answer concerns and do what's right for the people of Carroll County. I want to thank the county commissioners for your support for this project and accepting the CDBG grant. I know there was pushback from the community at moments, and I know they're going to come around to how wonderful this place is. But you saw through that and you supported it anyway, and we don't see that type of leadership all across the state, so thank you so much. And the state of Maryland is proud to be your partner and to continue to be your partner here in Carroll County. And I do want to give a special shout out to members of my team that are here that helped bring this project to fruition alongside you all. Donna Source, Justin Fair, and Carrie Bean. I'm gonna give you a round of applause. So again, on behalf of Secretary Day, our entire team at DHCD and the state of Maryland, I want to congratulate everyone who's helped to get us here today. Because of this home, you're saving lives, you're reuniting families, and you're building a brighter Carroll County and a stronger Maryland. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary Glantz. We are also honored to be joined by 3 members of the Carroll County Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Kyler, Commissioner Gordon, and Commissioner Krebs. I would like to invite Commissioner Kyler to offer remarks first, followed by Commissioner Gordon and Krebs.
Thank you. And I want to thank Stephanie, Dan, the entire board, all the people you guys have already thanked. What a group. And the one thing that was so good about this and made it easier to support is you were so transparent. You shared everything the whole time. Rhonda and I drove out here a year or 2 ago, probably not legally, probably not the right access, but we drove out and just the place looked awesome. I've got to think the one thing that you guys have learned, if you didn't know it, domestic animals will multiply.
Yes.
There's more animals here than we're
Where we started, that's true.
Yeah, and so again, it's just so great to be part of this, and every family is touched by addiction, by recovery. You guys, I wish you guys all the success. We see so many that seem to do so well for so long and then have a setback. And you've got to handle that too. So I appreciate what you guys do. This is a great facility. It's great for the ladies and their children. I don't want the snow removal contract for getting in and out in the winter. And I was worried about your access, but you guys have handled that well. So thank you very much, and I appreciate being part of this. Oh, last thing, being part of it, I was a little worried, and you mentioned the contractors and the solid team you have. I thought maybe you only invited us to make sure you get the UNO.
That's all right. Commissioner Gordon.
Good morning. Wow. Absolutely remarkable to be here today. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like when you get your first group of people here, the mothers, the kids, to be able to come out here, meet Alice the goat and all the other animals, but just absolutely, this truly is amazing. It's a pleasure to join you today as we celebrate the opening of the Westminster Rescue Mission's new recovery house for moms and their children. This ribbon cutting represents far more than an opening of a building. It represents hope, healing, and new beginnings for families in Carroll County. Today is a reminder of what can be accomplished when federal, state, county, nonprofit, faith-based, and community partners come together with a shared purpose. I want to thank everyone whose vision, generosity, and hard work made this day possible. Recovery is never an easy journey, and for mothers facing addiction, it's one of the greatest fears is being separated from their children. This home will help change that story and will provide a safe, supportive environment where mothers can focus on recovery while continuing to nurture the most important relationship in their lives, that bond with their children. The ability to preserve that connection between a mother and her child is paramount. It creates the foundation not only for a stronger family, but for a stronger community. When we invest in keeping families together through recovery, we are investing in healthier children, more resilient parents, and a brighter future for Carroll County. That's an invaluable need and one we should all be proud to support. This home truly is an oasis, a place for stability, encouragement, and hope, where mothers can grow in a loving, secure environment, and a place where healing happens and where families are given the opportunity to build a new future side by side. I want to offer my sincere appreciation to Stephanie and her staff and the outstanding leadership and her dedication and everyone's involvement in this, along with the vision and commitment of everybody. It brings together this project to life and has created something that we have a truly lasting impact on countless families for years to come. Thank you to the Westminster Rescue Mission, our state and local partners, our churches, our donors, and everyone who believed in this vision. I'm proud to be here today and to celebrate this milestone with you, and look forward to seeing the many lives that will be transformed within these great walls. One of our community's greatest strengths is our desire and dedication to work together, and we do that very well in Carroll County. Congratulations, and thank you all for being here.
Commissioner Krebs?
Thank you. I don't want to repeat what everyone in front of me has said because I agree with all of them and mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's all accurate. I became familiar with the Westminster Rescue Mission about 20 years ago when I first got into the legislature, and I came up and visited the mission and saw the vision, and they were struggling for a little bit and for some reasons, and we got some help with that so they could be able to be more self-sustaining, and we always called them the men at the mission, but there was always something missing, and that was the women. There's women obviously that need help too. At that time there was more men that needed it, but there's obviously women, and there's always an opportunity or a vision to have something for women, and they were going to do it on campus at first, and we tried it. There was a building on campus. We said we'll turn that into a program for women. And you always talk about God leading sometimes you have the best ideas, but things come differently. When COVID hit, things changed a little bit, and it wasn't the most perfect ideal place to be, but it allowed them time to have a different vision and to have somewhere outside like this. And I can't even imagine what you were thinking, but this is above what I could ever imagine. Just it is so perfect, and it's filled a need that's been there for a long time. But one thing that I will tell all of you, and I thank the state people for coming, we do a very good job in this county of visioning and executing and doing what's right for our people. And people do that from their hearts. They do what's right for the people. And I always say we don't apply enough for grants and this and that and the other. I want to make sure our grants people get credit for this because there's so much good stuff out there. And then I think you all know you get 100 million applications for grants. In Carroll County, what we say we're going to do is what you get and more. And I always say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Your presence here is meaningful. And I think it's nice for you to see that, hey, after going through all these, that you made good choices. And our federal partners, obviously the big dollars, that's where they are, and that's where we need to go for them. But the little dollars, every dollar, every person, every volunteer, all adds up to support as well. And we have that. And I'm sort of always struck by people who are sort of addicted to the addictions, the healing addiction center. They want to keep coming back and working and doing things. And I look at the retirees from the health department that come back because they care about this stuff. And I look at Youth Service Bureau, Lynn Davis coming back because, you know, you care about these things. And the board members that serve on different boards and commissions, and I see Emily out there, and law enforcement, because people see, they all have their role, but then they see what our needs are, and they want to be a part of that in our community. And that's what we do well here in Carroll County. I know some people look down and say, what are they doing up there in Carroll County? We do a lot of good things. And we're all on board with it. That's why we're here. People ask the right questions, and I think they got good answers, and you've got a great leader, and the leader with the heart. The leader that's doing it for the right reasons. He's not here for a paycheck. Of course, everybody needs to put food on the table, but people are doing it because they know they're changing lives. When people talk about, looking at Celine smiling over there about changing lives, you know, that's what we're here to do, is people that are hit on hard times. It could be any of us, our friends, our neighbors, but is to help those other people and make a difference in people's lives. And I've always said the biggest, people say, what's success mean to you? Success isn't about money, it's about making the difference in people's lives. And that's what people associated here do every single day. So you're all a success. We're glad to support this program and continue to support it. And go back and tell Jake, I'm sorry, Dave, sorry he couldn't make it, but he came to our last opening, which I think he was very much impressed with when we did our shelter opening in Westminster. We blew everybody out of the water with that as well, because we like to do it right for those people that need it. So thank every one of you. Take that back to your bosses and tell them thank you. And I do have an official citation. Oh, it's not too long. That's good. When I was in Annapolis, we only got to put like 20 words on a citation, and the commissioners always got to put like 1,000 words on the citation. But sometimes it's easier to have less. So we have today a proclamation for the Westminster Rescue Mission, ribbon cutting recovery home for mothers and their children, whereas the Westminster Rescue Mission is hosting a ribbon cutting to mark the opening of its new recovery home for mothers and their children, the first program of its kind in Carroll County. And whereas this initiative expands access to family-centered recovery housing, allowing mothers to pursue recovery while remaining with their children in a safe, supportive environment designed to promote recovery and family stability. And whereas the recovery residence is designed to equip mothers with the skills, support, and resources they need to rebuild their lives and achieve long-term independence. Key goals include employment and continuing education, life skills development, independent living preparation, and sober living skills. And whereas the Westminster Rescue Mission has been committed to changing lives for 58 years through their Addiction Healing Center and their Mission Food Program. And whereas the Board of Commissioners are proud to collaborate with the Westminster Rescue Mission in this important work. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Carroll County Commissioners, do hereby recognize and celebrate the Westminster Rescue Mission's ribbon cutting of the new recovery home for mothers and their children, adopted this 10th day of July 2026, signed by all 5 members of the Board of Carroll County Commissioners who proudly support the mission. President Joe Vigliotti, who couldn't be here, Vice President Mike Gurin, and 3 that you just heard from, Commissioner Gordon, Commissioner Kyler, and myself. And thank you to all of you who have supported the mission in your hearts, with your philanthropy, and with your efforts. And please continue that, and you're making a difference. And thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, Commissioners, very much for your support, your presence today. We're also honored to receive recognition from our Maryland delegation of federally elected officials. Congressman Johnny Olszewski, Senator Chris Van Hollen, and Senator Angela Alsobrooks have each provided recognition in honor of today's ribbon cutting. I'm pleased to welcome Perry Odenwald, Constituent Affairs and Outreach Manager from Congressman Johnny O's office, to present this recognition.
Hello everybody, it's an honor to be here today, and thank you to everyone that's already been mentioned that helped make today happen. On behalf of Congressman Olszewski's office, presented to the Westminster Rescue Mission, in honor of the grand opening of the recovery home for moms and their children in Carroll County. Thank you for your commitment to providing the resources to keep families together, providing a nurturing environment for children to flourish while empowering mothers in recovery. Your work is life-changing and further strengthens our community. On behalf of Senator Chris Van Hollen's office, This citation is presented to the Westminster Rescue Mission on the occasion of its ribbon cutting for the new recovery home for moms and their children, in recognition of its efforts to provide countless new opportunities for families seeking home, healing, and a fresh start, with gratitude for the collaboration between local leaders, partners, and community supporters that made this project possible, and with best wishes for the recovery home's success. And a certificate of special congressional recognition from U.S. Senator Angela Alsobrooks' office, presented to the Westminster Rescue Mission in celebration of Westminster Rescue Mission's recovery home for moms and their children. We are grateful for the essential care they provide throughout the community.
Thank you, Perry. We are so grateful. Before we close in prayer and officially cut the ribbon to mark this new beginning, I want to take a moment to say a couple more thanks. Grateful for the Maryland Department of Health and Carroll County Health Department with us today. I would like to especially thank Suzette Tucker from the Maryland Department of Health. Yes, where's Suzette? There you are, Suzette. Along with Dr. Matthew Levy, Martha Stewart, and Marie Liddick from the Carroll County Health Department, who are here with us today. I also have to mention Kathy Baker, who retired from the health department last June, but she was instrumental in making this project possible. One final reflection. If you haven't already, I invite you to sign the artwork that will hang in the entryway of this home. Where is it? It's over here. The artwork is under the tent. The artwork will state, "You are welcome here." That message feels especially meaningful today and in this place. Along this journey, there were moments when fear and uncertainty sent a different message, one that said, maybe you're not as welcome here. But today, we stand together as a community declaring something different. That healing is welcome here. That families are welcome here. That mothers and children are welcome here. And most importantly, that every woman and child who walks through these doors will be welcomed with dignity, care, and hope. The journey ahead will not be perfect. There will be challenges. We've had a few. There will be hard days alongside the good ones. But we know this: here in this home, good will happen. Healing will take root, and lives will be changed. This home exists because a community chose compassion over fear, partnership over division, and hope over hesitation. And because of that choice, lives will be transformed. As we prepare to dedicate this home, it is my honor to invite Stu Idell, treasurer of the Westminster Rescue Mission Board, to lead us in prayer. Stu has been a part of this journey from the very beginning and believed in this vision, has given generously of his time, and helped carry the project forward. We're truly grateful for his faithfulness, compassion, and commitment to this work. Stu, would you please come forward to pray for us?
Thank you. I could probably do this without a microphone, right? I've been involved with Westminster Rescue Mission for over 6 years, before Stephanie, actually. And I've seen many amazing transformation take place. Lives saved, people's hearts changed, and communities united for the good of many. It's amazing, all the stories you've heard already. But these things can only be accomplished through faith in each other, trust in God, and I believe through prayer. And I recognized early in my life, faith life, the importance of prayer and how God answers our prayers in one of 3 ways. He might say, yes, go for it, no, or sometimes wait. Well, I think that definitely he did all 3 in the quest for this facility. We had yes, no, and wait. And I'm not really a patient person when it comes to the last one, wait. So we looked at lots of buildings. I was on Zillow looking at buildings, 1.5 billion, 300 million, we didn't care. We did have a budget, but, that's arbitrary. So we looked at one, we're like ready to sign. I was signing the contract as the treasurer too, which is really scary to sign a contract for $2 million when I don't have $2 million, but we were going to come up with the money somewhere. But I know that this answer is correct because his timing is perfect. His timing, not mine, never as mine is. My wife tells me that all the time. Because now we are gathered here with the most committed partners. We are gathered here with a razor-focused leadership team and a mightily engaged staff. And this beautiful tannery farm with animals, which I love animals. I have a small farm myself. A property that will make a safe home for moms and families. So let me ask a little bit more prayer before we enter into this amazing adventure together, because we are not asking you to now leave. We are asking you to engage even more with us, because this is just the beginning. So let me just pray. Gracious and lovely God, we come before you today with grateful hearts. Thank you for bringing us to this moment, for every person, every partner, every donor, every leader, worker, volunteer, and prayer that helped make this home possible. We give thanks that your will, your vision, perseverance, and compassion that carried this project from a small idea to reality. We ask your blessing on this recovery home for moms and their children. May this be a place of safety, healing, dignity, and peace. May every mother who enters these doors know that she is seen, that she is valued, and she is loved by all that she encounters. May every child who comes here feel secure, welcome, safe, and surrounded by care. We pray you will continue to guide the staff and board and partners of the Westminster Rescue Mission as they serve with wisdom, patience, and compassion. Lord, give your strength to the family who will call this place home. And let this home be a sign of welcome, hope, and restoration in our community and in our hearts. We dedicate this day to the mother and children who will be served here. May they find courage for the journey, support for each step, and hope for the future. Bless this home, bless all who enter it, and bless the work that begins here today. In your Father's name, amen. Thank you.
All right, now the fun part. Big scissors. We've celebrated, we've prayed, now we actually get to work. We cut that ribbon. So I'd like to invite our partners and our representatives to come forward. We're gonna stretch the ribbon here and get ready to cut. And while we do that, I want to make sure we recognize someone who absolutely has to be a part of this moment, even though she will never forgive me for this. Laura Waltrip, our COO, would you please come up and join us? Laura has worn more hats on this project than I can count, and somewhere along the way she added cheap sheep officer to her responsibilities, and so no one has poured more time and energy and heart into this. And as she is with us as we cut the ribbon, she represents the rest of the rescue mission and our team who have poured their hearts into it. Jamie, Quita, Elaine, our entire engagement team, Paula, so many folks who have been doing incredibly hard work to make this happen. So let's gather up front and let's cut that ribbon.